I've spent over half of my life working on a particular AI problem, which is this one. In other words, building a computer that can understand human language and talk like a human. Language is the fundamental defining feature of human intelligence, which is why Alan Turing selected language as the ultimate metric for machine intelligence in his eponymous test. Unfortunately, as we just saw with Siri, can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Building a computer that can understand human language remains a very hard, unsolved problem. Contrary to other AI problems like image and speech recognition, speech synthesis and computer vision, and machine translation, natural language understanding and generation are two areas where machine learning and big data have not worked. So I believe that we will look back on this past decade, the 2010s, as an area where machine learning failed to be the panacea that it was hyped to be for certain AI applications. In fact, when it comes to conversational AI or natural language understanding, machine learning on its own, unsupervised, actually makes systems worse. You may remember the classic example of Microsoft Tay, which was allowed to learn on Twitter from human inputs unchecked and quickly devolved within 24 hours of being live into a racist, homicidal sex robot. The reason that machine learning doesn't work on its own for conversational AI applications is because of human nature. It turns out that 30% of all of the conversational inputs that we've processed between robots and humans on our platform are abusive, off-topic, sexual, or romantic in nature, which makes building these applications very difficult. So unfortunately, when it comes to developing conversational AI applications for the enterprise, we can't simply jump all of our historical data and transcripts into a machine learning blender and push a button, and voila, out comes a perfectly conversational chatbot. However, even though it's incredibly challenging to build, it's still worth pursuing these applications because I believe that conversational computing is the final evolutionary step in machine intelligence where computers will finally be adapting to speak our language rather than the way that we've historically adapted to communicate in modes that they can understand, from the command line to the keyboard to the touchscreen. Now, my company, PandoraBots, is the largest chatbot development and hosting platform in the world, home to over 250,000 registered developers and enterprises who have built over 325,000 chatbots for a variety of different applications. And those chatbots have conversed, as I said earlier, with human end users over 75 billion times. So we have a lot of data. Raise your hand if you don't know what a chatbot is. Yes, thank you. One brave man, and the rest of you are liars, some of you. But for those who don't know, for you specifically, a chatbot is a computer program like Siri that's designed to simulate human conversation via text or auditory inputs on voice and messaging channels. Now, this is critically important for the enterprise because messaging is actually the preferred method for consumers to communicate with your brand. 90% of consumer time on mobile is spent on messaging, and 2.6